Hello, A-Push students. We will be talking about laissez-faire economics, so please sit back and enjoy. Okay, because of laissez-faire, the Gilded Age was a time of corrupt governments and unregulated economics. The private businesses and the people formally controlled economics at this time period. The government didn't interfere with things such as tariffs, regulations, and subsidies, which yes, technically meant that the government and the people were broken up at the time. Big businesses became corrupt through laissez-faire economics because they would undercut competition and raise monopolies, causing smaller, less successful businesses to become bankrupt and fail. Side note, if you don't know what monopolies are when businesses stop competition and are able to control one particular thing and regulate prices, or play Monopoly because why not? With laissez-faire economics, the government didn't regulate businesses, so this led to things like corrupt business leaders, high inflation, and distribution of poorly made equipment. Some people that really favored and prospered laissez-faire economics were J.P. Morgan, Andrew Carnegie, and John D. Rockefeller, also known as the tycoons. There is a fourth tycoon, but he is not relevant at the moment. J.P. Morgan implemented laissez-faire economics into his business by building extreme monopolies and selling defective materials for inflated prices such as guns during the Civil War. Andrew Carnegie involved himself in laissez-faire economics by monopolizing and controlling the steel business with vertical integration. John D. Rockefeller added to laissez-faire economics by buying 90% of the oil industry and created monopolies through horizontal integration. As these big tycoons and their businesses prospered and grew, smaller businesses suffered and typically went bankrupt due to the undercut of competition. Because of large monopolies implemented by big businesses, wealth was unevenly distributed between the people. As a result, smaller businesses started to decline and big businesses skyrocketed. Squad goals. Along with that, poor regulation via the government caused abusive treatment towards the influx of immigrants, mostly from Eastern Europe. And as you can tell, the punishments were probably more severe than a time out. Immigrants faced crooked political and economical forces. Many of them were minimally paid, forced to work in sweatshops, and overworked. This occurred because the government didn't control working conditions in factories and such. An example of the government not adjusting the conditions in the workplace would be the incident known as the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire. And as you can tell, it was a building going on fire. Women were trapped on the top floor of the Triangle Waste Company when a fire broke out, and many couldn't escape due to the lack of poor safety precautions brought upon by the owners of the company. Yes, douchebag move. Some of the safety violations included lack of ladders and fire escapes, locking the doors while the employees were working, and mistreatment of working standards. Wow. The government attempted to control the issue brought upon by laissez-faire economics by interfering more with economics in the future of business, which, yes, meant that the government and the people got back together and everything was happy. However, they established antitrust acts such as Sherman Antitrust Act and the Clayton Antitrust Act. These trust busters attempted to minimize monopolies and big business. However, it failed because there were too many loopholes for businesses to get through. Eventually, economics improved and refined the quality of life of American citizens. Laissez-faire faded as government involvement in the daily lives of the people increased. And they lived happily ever after, but probably not because it's the American government.